It includes both pharmacological and non-pharmacological treatment. Certain lifestyle changes such as diet and exercise are considered first-line treatment for adolescent girls and women with PCOS. Pharmacological treatment are reserved. Hello everyone. Today I am going to speak a few words on in-clinic management of polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is one of the most common endocrinopathy affecting women. It has an unknown etiology and is recognized as a heterogeneous disorder that results in overproduction of androgens primarily from the ovary and is associated with insulin resistance. The Rotterdam 2003 criteria defines PCOS as the presence of any two of the three key criteria: oligo and or anovulation, excess androgen activity, and polycystic ovaries. The diagnostic tests include imaging and biochemical. Imaging consists of transabdominal or transvaginal sonography, which defines the polycystic morphology as 10 follicles in each ovary, at least 10 follicles in each ovary, each measuring 2 to 9 mm. Biochemical tests include total testosterone with a cutoff of 60 nanogram per deciliter, 75 gram 2-hour oral glucose challenge test, thyroid profile, lipid profile, and prolactin. Management of PCOS encompasses not only symptomatic treatment but also management of long-term consequences that have clinical and psychological effect on women with PCOS. It includes both pharmacological and non-pharmacological treatment. Certain lifestyle changes such as diet and exercise are considered first-line treatment for adolescent girls and women with PCOS. Pharmacological treatment are reserved for so-called metabolic derangements like anovulation, hirsutism, and menstrual irregularities. Non-pharmacological treatment includes diet and exercise. A healthy, balanced, calorie-restricted diet goes a long way. Restriction of refined carbohydrates are the mainstay. Metformin can be added as second line. One should do at least 5 to 6 hours of rigorous exercise a week. Exercise should be sufficient enough to raise one's resting pulse rate to more than 100 per minute. Pharmacological treatments are given for cycle regularization, infertility, and to treat the symptoms of hyperandrogenism. For cycle regularization, we can give low-dose combined OC pills consisting of ethinyl estradiol and drospirenol and or cyproterone acetate. Infertility due to oligo and ovulation can be treated by ovulation induction with clomiphene, letrozole, or HMG. Hyperandrogenism features include acne, hirsutism, alopecia. They can be treated by insulin sensitizers like metformin, and a combined OC pill consisting of ethinyl estradiol and cyproterone acetate given for 6 to 9 months gives promising results. Besides that, mechanical hair removal can be used, and for acne, topical creams and lotions can be used. A recent study says mean platelet volume is a marker associated with adverse cardiovascular events, and women with newly diagnosed PCOS appear to have significantly elevated mean platelet volume levels. The use of ethinyl estradiol or cyproterone acetate or metformin for the treatment of women with PCOS seems to have similar beneficial effects in reducing mean platelet volume. So, timely and proper approach to a patient with PCOS not only gives symptomatic relief but also prevents long-term complications like diabetes, dyslipidemia, and infertility. Hope you all liked this short and lucid talk. Thank you.